Hey, what's up guys? We're here for my NPL Week 2 matchup versus Pat, or the coach of the Sin City Staraptors. He is in my division. This is another divisional game, so it's very important to win this one. I had to build this team a little bit different than the one I built versus Ace Nova, coach of the New Yorker Ninjas. He had a more of a direct team. This Pat has a pretty balanced team, honestly. He's got a lot of hard-hitting mons mixed with some really bulky things like Celesteela and Florges. But yeah, I'll go right into his team and get you guys into the team builder and let you know how we did. So Pat's team is Celesteela, Florges, Donphan, Haxorus with a Z move, Rotom-Heat, Mega-Aerodactyl, Sharpedo, Tornadus Incarnate, Primeape, Sableye, and Kecleon. So his team is just so mixed, and I don't really know what to expect of it, honestly. Celesteela can be multiple different things, like Leech Seed, Protect, or be more offensive with like Air Slash, Fire Blast, Earthquake, maybe like Autonomize with it too. Florges is pretty self-explanatory. Florges is Florges. I'm not a fan of it. Donphan is a pretty good rapid spinner, honestly. Very, very strong. Most people don't realize how strong Donphan is, but it is pretty good. Also has that sturdy ability, so I'm not have to be weary of that, I guess you could say. Haxorus with the Z move. I'm not really too concerned about the Z move part of it, but Haxorus in itself is so scary. 1 or 2 Dragon Dances, and if I don't have Klefki, I'm pretty much done for. This Haxorus is a very, very big threat to my team, and I have to really play accordingly and make sure Klefki is very healthy versus it. The only move that it can really hit me with is, I don't know if it gets Fire Punch, but I know it gets Earthquake, and he'll probably be running Earthquake. That is why I have Magnet Rise on Klefki. I'll get into that later. Rotom-Heat. Kind of concerned about Rotom-Heat. I don't really have too many checks for it, other than Heatran and Meloetta. But other than that, not really. I know my Starmie will more than likely outspeed it if it's not Scarf. It will outspeed it if it's not Scarf, so I can hit it there. But it's more of a utility Starmie, so I'm a little bit worried about that. Mega-Aerodactyl. I'm not really too worried about that. I speed tie with Aerodactyl. Meloetta is a perfect answer for Mega-Aerodactyl. It really can't touch my Meloetta at all. Because I am immune to the Shadow Ball, I resist the Psychic, and Focus Blast is neutral. Obviously it doesn't get Dark Pulse, so that's pretty cool. Sharpedo is kind of a threat. I know I have Tangrowth if he wants to run a physical set, but they do carry Ice Beam, so I'm a bit worried about that. Because of the speed boost capabilities it could potentially have, and that could be pretty costly for my team. Klefki is a decent check to it as well. It OHKOs with Dazzling Gleam. Well, usually it does, unless he's running some weird bulk set. Tornadus, I don't really have too many flying resists. I know Mega-Aerodactyl is a decent check, and also it's Heatran. I don't know if he will carry superpower, so I have to watch out for that too. If he's a physical set, Tangrowth can kind of wall him. Acrobatics is going to be doing it quite a bit, but other than that, it can do its job. Primeape, I'm not too worried about Primeape. Aerodactyl outspeeds, kills with Aerial Ace. Klefki can T-Wave it. Obviously, Tangrowth is super bulky. And my Starmie can handle it pretty well. I'm predicting like a Bandit or a Scarf set if he brings it. Sableye, I don't think he'll bring it. Doesn't really do too much versus my team because of the fact that I have a Natural Cure user with the Starmie, and then I have Heatran to absorb the Will-O-Wisps and stuff like that. So I don't think he'll bring Sableye, but I guess there's a couple things on my team that can deal with it pretty well. Just like the Starmie and the Heatran, like I just said. Kecleon, you never really know with that thing. Protein's going to be annoying if he does end up bringing it. But yeah, hopefully he doesn't, because I just don't like playing against Kecleon. Those Shadow Snake fake outs, and it just annoys me. Anyway, that is his team, and I'll get right into the at least the team building portion of it. So Heatran, we brought a Gracium Z Heatran with Flash Fire, Fire Blast, Flash Cannon, Solar Beam, and Stealth Rock. This is my rocker for this week. Solar Beam with the Gracium Z turns into Bloom Doom, and it can hit Donphan for pretty much to knock it out in one hit, unless he's some weird Rindo Berry set, and I don't even think it could live after that, but who knows. But yeah, it's there for the Donphan, possibly the Sharpedo as well if I need it to. But yeah, I thought this would just be the best set for it. I did have Toxic on this set earlier, but I really wanted I wanted to at least try out a Z move. This is pretty much my first time using a Z move, and I thought it would be worth it in my opinion. So that's why we're using that instead of something like Leftovers. 180 HP is just to add a decent amount of bulk. The speed investment is to outspeed a max speed Celesteela, I believe, and maybe I think it's just the Celesteela. Almost positive it's just the Celesteela. Obviously I outspeed Donphan and more than likely Florges and stuff like that. So The coverage is pretty nice. I'm a bit worried about Fire Blast missing instead of clicking something like Lava Plume, but Fire Blast has a definite 2-hit KO versus the Celesteela, and Lava Plume does not, so that's the reasoning behind that. Also does a little bit more damage to Donphan if I already used my Z move. Also just very nice, powerful Fire Blasts that are pretty cool. So that is the Heatran set. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's my rocker. It's used to check things like Celesteela, Florges, and Haxorus to an extent, even the Rotom-Heat. But yeah, so that's the Heatran. Next Pokemon we got is Slim Chaney, our Klefki. Yeah, I know, the nickname is pretty funny. Anyway, leftovers, Prankster, Dazzling Gleam, Thunderwave, Magnet Rise, and Spikes. We're running a more SpDef set to be able to check the Mega-Alakazam a bit better. Also potentially Florges if it needs to come down to that. So anyway, Dazzling Gleam is there for the Haxorus, is there for the Sharpedo. Just pretty much the best move I could throw on it. At least in my opinion. I didn't want Flash Cannon, I thought Dazzling Gleam would be better. Obviously Prankster T-Wave is a thing, and Prankster T-Wave is awesome, so we're throwing that on there. Magnet Rise is especially for the Earthquake on the potential Celesteela, Donphan, Haxorus, things like that. Even if he wants to run HP Ground, I have Magnet Rise for that too. So that's the Magnet Rise, at least why I brought it. Spikes is pretty self-explanatory too. As you look at his team, his only form of hazard removal is Donphan, and I'm trying to take advantage of that. Once I get rid of the Donphan, I can start setting up hazards and pretty much just hazard stack on him, so that's plan B if something goes wrong. Next Pokemon, well yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of any other reason why I brought the Klefki on here, and the only thing I can really think of is the Haxorus. This is my main answer to Haxorus. I can eat a Earthquake even if he is adamant, and then proceed to set up a Magnet Rise, but I don't really want to. So hopefully I can bring it in on a free switch and get a Magnet Rise up, because then it can't really touch me. So that's my thinking for the Klefki. I have to keep Klefki healthy in order to beat the Haxorus. So next Pokemon we have is our Zelda, or the Meloetta. Leftover, Serene Grace, obviously, Hyper Voice, Thunderbolt, Calm Mind, and Substitute. I know you guys are so used to me, or at least you're so used to seeing me bring, what's it called, Assault Vest Meloetta. So this week we're bringing something a bit different, and I feel like I can really take advantage of his team with the Substitute Calm Mind. Hyper Voice, Thunderbolt hits everything on his team for at least neutral damage, and it hits it quite well, honestly. I'm a calm nature, so I'm able to eat the Mega-Alakazam hits very, very well. Also, I can eat up the Moonblast and proceed to substitute Calm Mind on the Florges, and pretty much beat it from there. 20 speed investment is for, I think it's just a guaranteed, so I can outspeed a couple Rotom sets. I think I outspeed, I don't want to say it, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just for the Rotom and maybe Florges, like obviously. Max speed Celesteela, I think that might be it, honestly. But yeah, so that's the Meloetta set. It's pretty nice, honestly. Only having 136 special attack investment, it still hits very, very hard. It's a 2-hit KO on almost everything except Florges, obviously. Maybe like a max SpDef Celesteela, some bulky Rotom set, and yeah, that's about it. So the Meloetta set's really, really nice. I can Calm Mind up on so many different things on his team. If he's some weird toxic Leech Seed Celesteela set, I can take advantage of that. I can obviously take advantage of Florges. I can take advantage of the Rotom-Heat if it's some bulkier sets. I can take advantage of the Mega-Alakazam. It's just a really nice set to bring versus his team. I didn't really think I needed Assault Vest. I wanted to have some, I guess, setup capabilities, if you will. So that's the Zelda set we are bringing, or the Meloetta set. And yeah, hang on, give me a second. Excuse me, I just need a drink of water. Anyway, this is the Mega-Alakazam set we are bringing. I mean, not Mega-Alakazam, Mega-Aerodactyl set we are bringing. Jawsome, pretty much just max. It's very simple set, I guess. I needed to be max speed to speed tie with the Mega-Alakazam. Also outspeed everything on his team that isn't Choice Scarf. Stone Edge Aerial Ace is perfect stab coverage versus his team. I didn't really need anything else. I had Thunderfang on here for a little bit, but then again, I didn't really think it was worth it. I thought Bruce and Toxic would be much better off. This thing is a great lure. I can pretty much Toxic the Donphan almost every single time. Donphan's a great check to this thing. I can Toxic. What else can I Toxic? Pretty much anything that wants to come in on this thing. Florges is usually not the main answer. Usually it's going to be Donphan or Celesteela. And Stonehenge is doing about like 30 to 40% depending on his set. So I'm not really too worried about that. Usually you go Donphan, in my opinion, but if he goes Celesteela, I have other checks for it, so I'm not too worried about it. And if that's his main answer to it, then I can work my way around it. So Roost is obviously just so I can recover up on potential hits from either, I don't know, maybe Donphan's Rock Slide or Florges Moonblasts or stuff like that. Tornadus U-turns or Hurricanes, Acrobatics, maybe some Primate Close Combat, stuff like that. So that's pretty much. I just needed recovery. I didn't have any recovery on the other 3 Pokemon instead of Leftovers, so I wanted something else. So next Pokemon we have is our Tangrowth, and Grass Kicker is wearing the Rocky Helmet with the ability Regenerator, Giga Drain, Knockoff, Leech Seed, Sleep Powder. So we're not running Assault Vest on any Pokemon this week. This is a pretty good set versus his team. Rocky Helmet takes advantage of the Haxorus or the Celesteela. If it's a physical set, takes advantage of the Sharpedo if he wants to try to Waterfall Sweep or Crunch me. Primate, especially because that's pretty much all contact moves. Kecleon to an extent if he wants to run that Fake Out, Shadow Sneak, whatever you want to call it. And I guess physical Tornadus to an extent. But yeah, I wanted the Rocky Helmet because of the fact that I could not let, say I get Haxorus down to like 10%. I didn't want him to sweep me. If I had to sack this thing to a Haxorus, I would definitely do it and save myself the game. So Rocky Helmet is there for at least that reasoning. I'm a pretty physically defensive set. Relaxed nature with 252 HP and 140 defense investment. I didn't want to break into my like special attack or attack investment, so that's why I'm running relaxed. I will get outsped by the Donphan this way, but I'm okay with that. 116 Spit F to be able to eat the special hits a bit better. That way I'm not 2-hit KO'd by the Florges no matter what, unless he's some sort of spec set or has a lot of investment. Also, Fire Blast from Celesteela doesn't do too much. Air Slash won't be an OHKO. Overheat will kill me if he's Life Orb or has a decent amount of investment, but if he's a very bulkier set like a Spit F set or Fizdef set and doesn't have too much investment, I can eat 1. I will be able to eat at least 1 Ice Beam from Sharpedo, and I can eat some Acrobatics from Tornadus. I don't think I can eat a Hurricane. I didn't calc the Tornadus Ice Hurricane, and I can eat plenty of Ice Punches and Close Combats from the Primate as long as he's Scarfed. If he's like Banded Adamant, that might be a bit of an issue. I'm not too sure if I can eat 2 if that's the case. I know I can eat 1. So that's the Tangrowth set. Giga Drain Knockoff is pretty obvious, honestly. Giga Drain is just decent coverage versus his Donphan, and it's just passive recovery. Also great for the Sharpedo. It's pretty much just to stop those 2 effectively, and then just kind of wear anything else down. Knockoff is great versus whole team. I want to get rid of items. Leech Seed is great for more recovery. And then he doesn't have a grass type, so I wanted to run Sleep Powder just in case I needed to put something to sleep. So that is the Tangrowth set we are bringing. Last Pokemon to the team is our Hazard Removal, Patrick, our Starmie. Leftovers Natural Cure. I like being that status absorbing set, just in case somebody wants to spam Toxic on me or try to Will-O-Wisp me with the Rotom-Heat, stuff like that. So Leftovers Natural Cure. Scald Ice Beam is perfect coverage versus team. I don't really need anything else. I was debating running T-Bolt, but I'd rather have Recover for obviously recovery. And Rapid Spin is just great versus team because I didn't want him to start setting up Stealth Rocks with Donphan. I could beat the Donphan 1v1 technically. It depends what the situation is, and Recover is just great for recovery, like I said. 252 HP and only 28 in special attack investment because I just threw the rest into speed. The speed is to outspeed the Tornadus Eye if it is not Choice Scarfed, or pretty much anything if it's not Choice Scarfed, other than the Mega-Alakazam. This thing is kind of the only bad thing about this set is I can't really do anything to Sharpedo, so I'm pretty worried about that thing. If he does end up bringing it, I can't stay in versus that thing, because obviously Scald and Ice Beam are not the greatest coverage options versus a Sharpedo. I know I have 30% chance to burn, it's more like 60%, but I can't risk it. So that's the only thing I'm pretty much worried about with that set. Other than that, it's also pretty bad versus the Florges. Florges can beat it 1v1. But yeah, so that's about it. That's the team we are bringing versus the Sin City Staraptors. And I'll get right into the replay. Okay. So, I don't know why it's freaking out, but anyway, we see he brings the Celesteela, the Primeape, the Donphan, the Rotom-Heat, the Tornadus, and the Haxorus, and obviously you guys see my team. So, right off the bat, I see no Mega-Alakazam, so I was a bit happy about that. That leads me to believe that he's bringing at least one Choice Scarf Pokemon, because that's just kind of what you do versus a Mega-Aerodactyl. You want to have one thing to outspeed it at least. So that was the thought in my mind for that. And then also we don't see any Florges, so that's pretty cool. I don't have to break through a Florges, which is pretty awesome. And then other than that, no Sharpedo is the only thing that kind of surprised me. The only thing that he brought that I wasn't really like fully prepped for is the Primeape, but I wasn't too worried about it. I had Tangrowth and Starmie, and that's kind of an obvious choice of mine if he does bring it, or Life Orb, something along the lines of that. So yeah, looking at his team, my dedicated lead was pretty much just go into your Tangrowth. I mean, you don't really lose to anything except the Rotom and the Tornadus, and both of those are decent leads, but I just didn't want him to set up his rocks effectively. I wanted him to pay for it if he wanted to lead the Donphan. So I'll hop right into the replay. So I go ahead and lead my Tangrowth. I don't know why it's so laggy. Hang on, let me pause it. Why is it so laggy? Hang on, last turn. It is very, very laggy here. Hang on guys, I'm gonna pause it if I can fix this. Give me 1 second. Okay, so that's about as good as it's gonna get, honestly. It's just, I don't know what's going on. It's being super laggy. I don't know what to do about it. So anyway, yeah, I said I'm going to lead my Tangrowth. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing this. I apologize if it's this bad on your screen too. So I go out into my Aerodactyl because I can take anything he wants to really do to me. Alright, this is just stupid. Hang on a second. I have to figure out. Alright, so this might be a bit better, but this is as good as it's going to get. I apologize for any, I guess, yeah, I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. So anyway, I lead my Tangrowth just because of the fact that it doesn't really lose to anything on his team other than pretty much just like this and Rotom-Heat. Go to this thing because I can take any one hit that this thing wants to go do to me. So he just goes for the knockoff. I'm able to see the Life Orb, which is pretty nice. Anyway, I can just pretty much Mega Evolve and Roost here, get off my nice Mega Evolution, and at least recover what I lost. So that's pretty much my game plan from here. As he goes into the Celesteela, and at least I get to see that's his check to this thing. I go into my Tangrowth back because I don't really think he's going to do anything. Yeah, he just heavy slams, gets a crit, but that's okay. He takes some Rocky Helmet damage. I'm going to switch out here and scout for something like a Fire Blast or Air Slash, as he goes for the Air Slash and misses, so I was correct about that. I go straight for the Fire Blast here, and it really doesn't do too much. It only does 60%. I was predicting to do a bit more, as he Earthquakes me and it does 91. Luckily my HP investment was on top of that, so I go ahead and just set up my rocks here because I know he doesn't want to lose the Celesteela, and if he does want to just lose it, then I set up my rocks anyway because I would speed him. So I go into this thing on the Volt Switch. I'm trying to rack up the potential chip damage with the Stealth Rocks, which is pretty much my game plan after seeing his team. So this thing takes some nice rocks damage. I know I can't stay in because he's just going to click Knock or U-turn again, so I just go straight back into my Aerodactyl here. I know I can eat whatever he wants to go, as he just goes to the knockoff and just takes more recoil. So this time I actually attack. I believe I go for the Aerial Ace. Yeah, I just go for the Aerial Ace, do 31 to his Donphan, and I find out that his Donphan isn't very physically defensive, it's just max HP. Go into my Heatran here on the projected rocks as he just spins them away, which is fine by me. I go here, I think I just go ahead and go for the Bloom Doom. I try to use the Z move. Just in case he wanted to stay in and Earthquake me, I just go for it, and it does like 0 to the Rotom, so that's unfortunate. It does 25, but yeah, I'm switching out here because I want to keep this thing alive. Just go back into my Mega-Aerodactyl because it's a decent check. As he just goes straight for the Volt Switch. As of right now, he's definitely winning the match. He's definitely dictating what's happening, but I'm just going to go straight into my Aerodactyl here because I just once again, it's a decent check to it. As he goes for the Hurricane, it does quite a bit amount of damage. I do outspeed this thing still, luckily no Confusion. Confusion would have been pretty bad there. As I believe I just roost up here because it's just the best, yeah, it's just the best play. So that's good with me. I do carry Toxic, so I go for the Toxic here, and I'm able to Toxic the Don Fan. That's pretty nice, as he just sets up his Stealth Rock, which is fine. I can still have the opportunity to spin them away. And yeah, this is what I do right here. I go straight to my Starmie because I'm predicting he can't really do too much, maybe like a Rock Slide or something. But he goes for the knockoff, and I live on 1%. I have no idea why he chose the knockoff on a Mega-Aerodactyl. It really didn't make any sense to me. But luckily we did live on 1% HP because the last thing I saw coming was a knockoff. So anyway, at least we lived that and we're able to spin the rocks away. My play here is to go back into my Heatran, set up my own rocks on the chance he kills me. And he does go for the knockoff again and kills my Heatran, which is great because now I get to go into my Meloetta and knock this thing out. The way I looked at it is because the fact that he chose to not spin them away and he doesn't set up his own rocks, I get rocks on the field and I don't have any rocks on my side of the field, which is great. So the plan is working. At least in the beginning it was a bit rough, but at least now it's starting to take shape. As you can see now, he's just going to click U-turn here, take some nice Rocky Helmet damage, and he already took some Stealth Rock damage. Switches out and takes some more Stealth Rock damage with the Rotom. So wearing down his team is working finally, luckily at least. Going to my Meloetta just because it's the best switch in, as he goes for the Overheat, and it does 26%. So I can tell this is a bit of a bulkier Rotom set, plus the Meloetta is just so fat on the special side. So I go ahead and set up a substitute here as he just goes ahead and Volt switches on out, but obviously that's not going to break it. I'm a very bulky Meloetta set too, as he just goes ahead and takes more rocks damage, and I actually outspeed this thing, so I just smack it with a T-Bolt, knock out the Celesteela, and now we are on the even playing field, 4-4. So now he has to bring out another Pokemon, and I'm still behind a substitute, and I hit everything very, very strong. So I just go for the Hyper Voice here, because it's stab. As he clicks U-turn, he's able to break my substitute, and now he's just got to take more rocks damage on something. So he brings out the Haxorus, and this is what I'm a bit worried about. The only thing I was pretty much worried about on the rest of the team. I do a nice 62% to him. I can't stay in on the off chance he just goes for something like a Outrage or X-Scissor. So I go into this thing. I know I can eat one Earthquake. If you click if he clicked Dragon Dance there, I could potentially just click Magnet Rise. And that's what I'm going to do here, is just go ahead and click Magnet Rise on the second Earthquake, which is pretty nice. And I'm getting some leftovers recovery, and now my play here is I'm thinking he's switching out, but he actually stays in and clicks Rock Slide here, which doesn't do too much, only does 15%. I will be able to eat another one of those afterwards. So he goes for a Dragon Dance here on my Dazzling Gleam, so I'm able to knock out the Haxorus with the Dazzling Gleam, which is fantastic, honestly. I don't have to worry about that thing anymore, and now I have Stealth Rock and a set of spikes up. So he goes into the Rotom-Heat, and I don't need this Klefki anymore at all, so I'm just going to set up another spikes for more damage on the Primeape to come in, as he overheats and knocks out my Klefki. So I have a free switch in to my Meloetta here again, and he cannot break my substitute. And I think he clicks Pain Split here, and yeah, Pain Split cannot go through a substitute. So that fails, and I get some free leftover recovery, and now I'm behind a substitute, and pretty much there's nothing really he can do about it. So I Hyper Voice this thing, does 33% as he Volt switches on out, and it will die to the rocks damage on the next switch in. Goes into his Primeape here, takes more spikes and rocks damage, as I'm just going to keep firing off nice Hyper Voices as he clicks U-turn, and he really can't really do too much. Goes into the Tornadus here. Obviously we'll die to the next rock switch in, but we'll die to the Hyper Voice too. So I'm able to knock out the Tornadus, and now his only choice of play here is he has to go to his Primeape. The Rotom will die to Stealth Rock, and now I can just go into my Tangrowth here and go ahead and let him kill himself with the Rocky Helmet damage. So that's very awesome for me. He just clicks the U-turn. So he'll take the Rocky Helmet damage and die to the next switch in. So his Rotom comes in, dies to the Stealth Rocks, and then his Primeape will come in and die to the Stealth Rocks and the Spikes on the next turn. So that is how we ended week 2 of the NPL versus Pat in the division. We are now 2-0, positive 8 differential, which is pretty cool. I play Trevor, owner of the league, next week, and I haven't played Trevor yet. I didn't play him last year either, so that was, I guess it'll be pretty fun. Finally getting all the division games out of the way, and then we'll open up into everybody in the league, which that'll be fun too. So it's good to start off on a good note. We won last week, and now we won this week, so we're on a roll. And yeah, I can't wait for next week versus Trevor, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. I do apologize for the bit of lag on my computer. I literally have no idea what's going on. I'll have to take a look at it, maybe delete some extra stuff, and just see what happens after that. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. I hope you guys are looking forward to next week, as am I. So yeah, I will just see you guys later, and stay tuned for more. See ya.